She can lift the biggest, heaviest machinery ever built.
The cargo is very expensive and sensitive.
And then carry it anywhere in the world.
Train it away!
On her very first job as a super heavy lift ship,
Beluga Bremen.
Beluga Bremen's crew will test drive new technology,
Number 2 crane, a little bit more hook down.
battle unpredictable weather,
Dark clouds is coming.
and face unknown challenges.
We hope that the pier is not gonna collapse.
It's a 20,000-kilometer adventure from Asia to the Americas on the mightiest ship afloat. Beluga Bremen is one tough lady. Purpose-built by German shipping company Beluga Group at a cost of $75 million, she's got just one job: to lift and carry the world's heaviest cargo. Her 2 monster cranes are the strongest ever mounted on a multi-purpose heavy lift ship, and together they can bench press over 1,400 tons. That's a lot of muscle, and she's going to need all of it on her very first job that starts here in Kuantan, Malaysia.
Speed is 9.2.
As Beluga Bremen navigates into the port, 2 giant mining machines called autoclaves are being delivered to the pier. These 800-ton washing machines separate gold from rocks and mud. Beluga Bremen's job is to carry them halfway around the world.
Starboard quarter, yeah?
But first, she'll have to load them on board. It's the heaviest cargo the Beluga Group has ever tried to lift.
Thank you.
Beluga Bremen is brand new, but her master, Lutz Held, is a veteran captain.
We have to load 2 autoclaves at this port. That will be the most heavy stuff Beluga lifted until now. And it will be a challenge for the crew and me.
Captain Held is Beluga Group's top gun. They're test skipper for the best-built heavy lift ships the world has ever seen.
You are ready, forward and aft, please.
And on her maiden voyage, Captain Held wants to find out how tough Beluga Bremen really is.
What I'm really curious of is the behaving of the vessel. It's really totally new for us.
Bremen is the prototype for a whole new class of ships called super heavy lifters. She has to perform well on this job. 7 more, just like her, are being built at a cost of over $500 million. From Kuantan, she will sail to Shanghai to pick up more heavy cargo. Then, it's across the vast Pacific Ocean, through the Panama Canal, to a remote port in the Dominican Republic to unload.
3 meters ahead.
It's a 20,000-kilometer journey,
5 meters ahead, please, Bennett.
halfway around the world. As soon as Beluga Bremen touches the pier, there's no time to waste. It's Captain Held's ship, but the job of loading the giant autoclaves belongs to his second-in-command, Chief Officer Jorn Gafkor.
The challenge is we have to load these 2 autoclaves in one day. Time is money.
Before he can start the lift, Jorn's first job is to install Bremen's unique stabilizer pontoon. It's an extra ballast tank designed for super heavy lifting. As big as a bungalow, it weighs 115 tons.
There's not so many vessels in the world with this kind of stabilizer pontoon.
All heavy lift ships use ballast systems to keep them from capsizing during a lift. At 168 meters long and 25 meters wide, Beluga Bremen has 48 ballast tanks inside her hull that automatically fill or empty water to keep the ship level as cargo is loaded. Installed on the outside of the hull, the stability pontoon gives the ship more counterweight to lift even heavier cargo. And they'll need it. The dangerous combination of the autoclave size and weight could sink the ship.
Without this pontoon, we cannot do the lift. The vessel will capsize and will fall down to the pier.
A huge 40-ton steel arm connects the pontoon to the ship. Jorn directs the crane to fit it into a tiny slot in the center of the pontoon.
When the water is a little bit choppy, the pontoon is moving.
Water is Jorn's biggest worry. Heavy lift cranes don't mix with rough seas. It's like working in a floating, rocking skyscraper.
You have to come here, come here.
And that's making it tough to line up the arm with the pontoon.
When we fit in the arm to the ship, there's only clearance from 1 millimeter up, 1 millimeter down. It's like to fit in a thread in the needle.
Threading a needle that weighs 40 tons is difficult, dangerous work, and it's the first time the pontoon has ever been used on a real job. It takes almost 2 hours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But Jorn is happy that the pontoon is properly installed.
40 tons the arm, 115 tons the tank. Looks good. Okay, Andre, hook up.
Now, everything is ready for the big lift to begin. And all eyes are on Jorn and his team.
Stop. Stop. Andy.
Jorn is one of the Beluga Group's most experienced officers and was handpicked for Bremen's first job. Captain Held is monitoring his performance too. If Jorn does well, he could be promoted to captain.
I think Jörn is a bit nervous, but it's normal in this situation.
There's a kind of pressure, yes. A lot of surveyors, people from different company, from the shipper, from the cargo owner, everybody's looking to me.
But Jorn isn't alone. He's got project manager Roberto Frigeni and cargo superintendent Edward Lapkoff on his team.
Now the best way is to position yourself here and look at
They are not part of the ship's crew. They're lift specialists from Beluga Group's head office in Germany. Roberto and Edward have spent almost a year planning this lift using computer simulations.
Generally speaking, responsibility of the lift is on the captain and chief mate. They are the hands, we are the brain. Need one more deckhand here at the gangway.
Computer simulations are one thing. Real heavy lifting is another.
If the hook is not aligned where we're going to lift, the cargo is going to suddenly move. So we have to be very, very careful of the geometry of the lift. This is the most important aspect of the moment.
Under a blistering Malaysian sun, Jorn and his team are ready to find out if their super heavy lift ship is a contender, a champion, or a washout. In the port of Kuantan, Malaysia, Beluga Bremen is ready to load 2 800-ton high-tech mining machines. It's her first ever super heavy lift, and everyone is nervous.
The cargo is very expensive and sensitive, so if we damage it, the whole project is for a gold mine will be stopped.
Okay, Andre. Bring the hook to the center.
Bremen's 2 monster cranes are the strongest ever mounted on a multi-purpose heavy lift ship, but they've never been tested on a real job.
Swing left and boom down.
Chief Officer Jorn Gafkor is in charge of lifting the autoclaves. They're 3 times the size of a school bus and almost 60 times heavier.
The hook must be straight over the cargo, otherwise it starts moving and it is too heavy for any movement.
Veteran crane operator Alexander Trofimov knows that any sudden movement could spell disaster.
If I make this command very faster, the ship maybe crash.
There's one last check of the crane hooks.
We have people everywhere now watching and carefully listening from the radio what's going on.
If they drop their 800-ton cargo, dozens of lives are at risk. On the pier, Jorn bears all the responsibility, but he must stay in constant contact with his captain.
The captain is on the bridge and controlling the ballast. Beluga Bridge, the list please.
1.7 to starboard.
8 stories up on the bridge, Captain Held keeps a close watch on the ballast system as it reacts to the weight of the autoclave.
0.9 to port.
Okay, 0.9. Okay, both trains stop a moment, we wait for ballast.
Ballasting is a delicate and dangerous balancing act. As an autoclave is lifted on board, its enormous weight causes the ship to list or tilt. 12,000 cubic meters of water in 48 ballast tanks shifts automatically to counterbalance the list and keep the ship from capsizing.
Boltzmann.
Stability pontoon 3.6.
Very good.
But no one knows if the ship's ballast is enough to offset 800 tons, even with the extra help of the stabilizer pontoon.
This is the moment of truth, we say, before the cargo lifts off from the trailer.
To lift and load the autoclaves, Bremen's 2 cranes must synchronize their moves perfectly. For the crane operators, it's like trying to hammer in 2 nails at exactly the same time with exactly the same pressure.
And now we're gonna lift up right now.
So cargo is in the air now.
Number 2 crane, a little bit more hook down.
Trailer away! Trailer away!
Almost immediately, there's a problem.
You're too fast, Andre. Much too fast. Number 2 crane, hook down.
The cranes are moving at a snail's pace, but it isn't slow enough.
We don't keep it level, make a mistake, it slips. Then it's disaster.
Don't board the ship. Okay, very good.
In the moment we are swinging the cargo over the vessel, that means the lowest point of stability for the vessel.
The full weight of the autoclave is now right over the ship. It's acting like a gigantic pendulum, with the slightest movement tilting the ship from side to side. It's a time of dangerous instability.
Number 3, little bit hook up.
And the most critical point in the lift.
Number 2, stop for a moment. Third mate, with the buoy down, we are coming clear.
It's less than a meter to touchdown. With 800 tons hovering over his head, Edward makes sure that the cradles ready to hold it are lined up with the strongest parts of the deck. If they aren't, the autoclave could break right through.
There's another one. So the arrows are the, how to say, main girders of the ship. So when the cradle is on them, it's not a problem.
With pinpoint accuracy, the autoclave is laid down as gently as putting a baby to bed. Beluga Bremen's first ever super heavy lift has taken less than an hour.
1 autoclave done, now the other one.
It's a huge relief. But with nightfall just a few hours away, there's no time to relax. They can't load the second autoclave in the dark.
Everybody sees that it's going well, people are getting more relaxed. And that's when the mistake can happen. So the second one is not less important than the first one.
Same, not moving, number 2. Hook, don't move. Okay, number 3, continue, string right, boom down, hook up. Continue, boom down, hook up, and string right.
The second lift goes off without a hitch.
Less than 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour. Perfect.
Beluga Bremen has won her first ever heavy lift by a knockout with a powerful 1-2 punch.
We are happy, the client is happy, and the most important, the captain is happy.
As soon as Bremen's massive hydraulic-controlled cargo doors are closed, Captain Held doesn't waste a minute casting off from the dock.
Single up, forward and aft now, please.
For him, this voyage is finally underway.
After 2 or 3 days in port, I'm really excited. Okay, there go everything forward, please.
1-ton pilot.
Next stop, Shanghai, China, a 5.5-day journey across the South China Sea.
We make faster cargo somewhere here.
But there's no time off for Jorn Gafkor. He's getting rookie officers Lars Schleifer and Benny Stephenson ready to direct their first ever super heavy lift. More heavy machinery to be delivered to a gold mine in the Dominican Republic.
Okay, what will be the procedure?
I will do my first tandem lift, means using 2 cranes. I never done this before, only with 1 crane.
So one is doing the ballasting on the bridge, the other one is actually staying outside and giving the commands.
It's their first big test as officers and a good chance to move up the chain of command.
Not everybody can become captain. We will see what happens for me in the future. I don't know, but for sure I will try. So that's the motivation who keeps you going.
Up on deck, Chief Engineer Jan Klose Jensen is facing a big challenge of his own.
That's the hydraulic pump from the hatch cover system.
A powerful hydraulic pump that opens the ship's giant cargo hatches has burned out.
Failure exactly means overheating. Temperature was more than 80, 90 degrees.
It never go above 60.
With the pump out of commission, the heavy cargo in Shanghai can't be loaded into the ship's hold.
It's pretty important. We need to be able to open and close hatches in the next port.
The chief has to fix it,
See you.
or Beluga Bremen's maiden voyage will grind to a dead stop. The heavy lift ship Beluga Bremen is on her way to Shanghai, China to pick up more supersized cargo. She's just 6 days into her 6-week voyage, but the journey is in serious trouble.
Chief Engineer, please.
A hydraulic pump that opens her massive cargo doors is broken.
Here we are, at the scene of the crime.
If Chief Engineer Jan Klose Jensen can't fix it, the ship won't be able to load cargo into her hold. Up on the bridge, there are more headaches.
Beluga Bremen, Shanghai pilot, good morning.
The Shanghai Port Authority keeps changing the location for Beluga Bremen to rendezvous with a harbor pilot. Rookie third officer Lars Schleifer has never navigated a ship into Shanghai, one of the busiest ports in the world, and he's scrambling to alter course again and again.
They give you a completely different area to go in.
The ships are coming down, ships are going up. This one is crossing our course.
It's a big challenge for Lars, and he's falling behind making his course changes. Finally, Captain Held snaps.
I don't want to know what information you get before. I want to know where the position is, where we have to go.
It takes another nail-biting hour, but Lars steers Beluga Bremen where she needs to go and meets up with the pilot.
This is a pilot ship.
Now it's harbor pilot Wu Jian-win's job to steer her safely into port.
You're fine with the automatic.
He will guide the giant super lifter 70 kilometers up the mighty Yangtze River into the narrow Huangpu and all the way to her berth. With over 60,000 ships a year using these rivers, Shanghai is the most difficult port in the world to navigate. And local knowledge of the port and its tide cycles is priceless.
I have been here being a pilot for 15 years. The tidal influence is very strong.
If Jian-win doesn't keep a close watch on the tide, the ship could be in real danger. As the tide goes out, it exposes a 12-kilometer stretch of the river that is just 5 meters deep at low tide. Beluga Bremen's draft is over 7.5 meters, deep enough for it to easily run aground. But at high tide, the river's depth increases to 9 meters. Plenty of room for Bremen to pass safely, as long as Jian-win's timing is perfect.
Our depth 5.2 meters, and we need 70 meters for clearance.
Yeah.
High tide today is at 12:18. Beluga Bremen has to reach the shallows in exactly 1 hour and 48 minutes. For Third Officer Lars Schleifer, it's a baptism by fire.
Keep running with the
He has to react fast to GN Wind's instructions and adjust the ship's course constantly.
So now we reduce speed because we have to overtake another vessel. There's another vessel on the forward, so now we cannot say exactly what will happen.
Right now, there are over 100 ships in the Yangtze, and all of them are trying to cross the shallows on time. It's a Shanghai rush hour, but being a big, super heavy lifter helps clear the way. The pilot's timing is right on. Zigzagging through traffic, Bremen rides the tide and reaches her berth right on schedule.
Yeah, the flag is indicating the bridge.
Down in the engine room, it's more good news.
Okay, now on.
Jan and his team have repaired the damaged pump.
Yep. Job well done, Andrew.
Cargo hatches can be opened, and Lars Schleifer and Benny Stephenson can get ready for their first ever super heavy lift. 4 giant machines called heat exchangers for the same Dominican gold mine must be loaded in under 24 hours. It's the rookies' time to shine. Each heat exchanger weighs just 150 tons, a lot less than an autoclave, but they're almost as long. The rookies' instructions to the crane operators will have to be pinpoint accurate.
2 and 3, just stop, wait for rudder.
Lars will load the first 2 heat exchangers, while Chief Officer Bjorn Gafkor and Cargo Superintendent Edward Lopkov keep a close eye on him.
Stop pumping for a moment.
One wrong move, 1 second of hesitation, and they'll step in to prevent 150 tons from crashing down onto the ship. But Lars doesn't blink.
Number 3, continue hook down.
He loads the first 2 heat exchangers into the cargo bay with the precision of a veteran.
He was very calm, very precise, very concentrated. That's important. He will be a good heavy lifter in the future, I think.
So I did my first 2. It's quite good.
Benny loads the last 2 heat exchangers.
Crane number 2, swing to your right.
As the ship's second officer, he's 1 rank up on Lars, but he looks a lot more nervous.
Yes, okay.
Swing to your left.
A little bit nervous, but it's okay.
And Benny's slipping up. His first lift isn't going well. He's taking too much time. 150 tons dangles dangerously, threatening to crash down on the ship. With Jorn and now Captain Held watching closely, Benny finally loads it into the cargo hold. Now he's got 1 more chance. And with a few pointers from Jorn,
By number 2 crane, boom down and swing to the right.
he loads the last heat exchanger all on his own.
And number 2 crane continues swing to the left.
He's more confident, he's doing less mistakes. So more or less he did this lift himself with very, how to say, little assistance from our side.
It's been a challenging day for the young officers, better for Lars, but Benny's trying not to keep score.
It's always better we work as a team and not as a competitors. It's something for...
Also, we have still 2 months together, so we have to be careful about that.
The rookies have both earned a good night's sleep.
No way!
But the deck crew must work late into the night, welding footings and tightening chains to secure their new pieces of heavy cargo. Nothing in the holds can move. If the cargo shifted, it could sink the ship. 21 hours after Beluga Bremen arrived in Shanghai, she's ready to leave on the next and longest leg of her journey. 10,000 nautical miles of Pacific Ocean and a date with a man-made wonder of the world.
Slow ahead.
After a 3-week, 15,000-kilometer voyage across the Pacific Ocean, Beluga Bremen has reached the west coast of Panama and her next destination. The Panama Canal is the world's best shortcut, an 80-kilometer waterway that reduces the travel around South America by 16,000 kilometers. For Beluga Bremen, that's a saving of $300,000 in fuel alone. 12,000 ships make the transit every year. They stage at anchorages, vast parking lots at either end of the canal, and then wait their turn. Beluga Bremen has arrived at the western anchorage right on schedule. It's her very first transit, so she has to be inspected to confirm that the ship is in good working order and her cargo secure. If Bremen doesn't pass, she won't be allowed through. The Canal Authority can't afford any breakdowns or accidents that could halt the flow of traffic.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, hello.
Hello, Captain. Fine, thank you. How are you yourself?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
Yorn escorts Inspector Javier Mendez below deck, while the crew makes sure that their 2,200 tons of heavy cargo is safely secured.
All the chains, on buckles, everything must be in good condition, everything must be tight, like now.
If it isn't, this is what could happen. An autoclave crashing into the ship's hull would cause her to sink like a stone in just seconds. From bottom to top, Javier inspects Bremen carefully.
Take a picture of this.
He's inspected a lot of ships, but never one like this.
It's a ship that has a very unique design.
After a final check of his notes, Bremen has passed another test.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for your good cooperation.
Thanks to you.
Beluga Bremen is ready to go. And as she travels under the Bridge of the Americas, she enters one of the man-made wonders of the modern world. It took 10 years and over twice the explosive power of the first atomic bomb to blast the Panama Canal out of rock, mud, and thick jungle. Since it opened in 1914, the only thing that's changed are the ships. They've gotten bigger.
Yeah, Bosun, bridge. We have to prepare the pilot there right now.
And that makes the pilots here just as important as they are in Shanghai. Working 24/7, canal pilots navigate every ship on a 12-hour journey through a complex system of waterways. From the west, 2 sets of locks raise ships 26 meters above sea level, allowing them to travel through a long, narrow channel and a series of man-made lakes to the east, where another set of locks lowers them back down to the sea. As soon as he's on board...
Good morning, Captain.
Morning, sir.
Good to meet you.
How are you?
That's fine.
The pilot gets right to work.
Captain, we are ready in 2 minutes for spilling.
Anytime.
At Miraflores, the first set of locks, the 100-ton doors open wide, and a team of 4 50-ton towing locomotives connect steel cables to Bremen's hull and pull her inside.
Thank you, once all. Slowing down right now.
Their job is to keep the ship from smashing into the sides of the lock.
Okay, we're now in position in the Miraflores lock, lower chamber.
When the gates close, almost 100 million liters of water pour in. It takes just 10 minutes to raise the ship over 8 meters. And by the time she exits the second lock, Bremen will be 26 meters above sea level. And heading into the most dangerous section of the canal,
Okay, aft station, let go, tugboat aft.
the Gilliard Cut. At just 150 meters wide, it's a tight fit for big modern ships like Beluga Bremen. If a ship lost control in here, she could block traffic in both directions. By nightfall, 8 hours after entering the canal, Bremen has cleared the cut, 30 kilometers of man-made lakes, and is fast approaching the last set of locks at Gatun.
And a boat approaching on starboard side.
Captain Held can't wait to get through.
I can handle my ship myself again, not by locomotives and so on.
In 30 minutes, Bremen is back at sea level. And after a polite goodbye to the pilots,
Thank you very much.
Captain Held doesn't waste a second.
Wait until they are on board and then pull ahead.
Beluga Bremen is now in the Caribbean Sea and heading for her final destination, a remote port on the northeast coast of the Dominican Republic. Her crew has traveled all over the world, but no one has ever been to Samana.
Bad news or good news?
And no one knows what to expect.
Now we are heading for the Samana Bay into the unknown.
It's been 6 weeks since Beluga Bremen left Kuantan, Malaysia. And after a 20,000-kilometer journey, she's reached her final destination, Samana in the Dominican Republic.
A very unknown port, shallow water.
Samana is a remote port on the Dominican's north coast, originally built to export bananas. Until the gold mine was developed a year ago, the port had been inactive for years, and neither Captain Held or Chief Officer Jorn Gafker has ever been here before.
Do you have this island in your radar?
We have no proper charts, there's no proper charts available. We have to be very careful in the final approach.
These veteran sailors do know that the channel into the port is narrow and weaves through a web of coral reefs. One wrong move and Bremen could run aground.
We have 7 meters water here, 5 meters now.
Captain Held desperately needs a pilot to guide his ship into port, but the pilot is late.
Samana pilot, Beluga Bremen, good morning. We are inside the fairway already, and no pilot.
Finally, the pilot answers the radio call.
Samana pilot, Beluga Bremen, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I want to know your ETA, please.
We are already now at the pilot station.
Okay, pilot is on the way.
He's running a full 20 minutes late. Captain Held's first impression of Samana isn't a good one.
That's Caribbean style.
At least they've got not just one, but 2 pilots to guide them in.
How are you? Fine. That sounds good. Angry? Speed in the moment 7.
These pilots are used to working on smaller cargo and cruise ships.
Half ahead.
Half ahead.
But at almost 170 meters long, Beluga Bremen is the biggest and the newest ship they have ever navigated.
320.
This is the first time we have a ship like this.
It's not what Captain Held wants to hear.
Everything okay.
Okay.
As he hands them control of Beluga Bremen.
310. 310. Starboard 20.
Starboard 20.
The job looks easy enough. There's just one wide-open pier inside the tiny harbor.
Midship.
Lowest thing.
Slowest thing.
Midships.
But as Bremen makes her final approach, the captain is confused by the pilot's maneuvers.
How do you want to turn?
We go to the pier.
Bremen needs to turn left or to port, but the pilots keep steering her starboard or to the right.
This is starboard forward.
The pilots don't seem to know how to use the bow thrusters to steer the nose of the ship.
If I give thrust to starboard, the line will be at the thrust.
Yeah.
The captain is worried. His $75 million ship is on a dangerous line and headed right at the pier. Captain Held has had enough.
When move? How to move?
Mr. Pilot, that is the question you have to ask if you come on board.
Yeah.
And not if we are maneuvering.
I know because...
You know?
To protect his ship, he does what a captain almost never does. He asks the pilots to step aside.
The only thing I know that I can handle it better than them. So I will do now.
Tension on the bridge is high.
Still ahead. We will wait with the lines until we are alongside, yeah?
The pilots are just as relieved as the captain when Beluga Bremen arrives safely at the pier. All's well that ends well.
This is the first time it happened here.
Yeah, no problem at all. Don't worry about it.
Below deck, Jorn gears up for the lift. It's a big day for a lot of reasons.
The discharging in Samana is important, but for me it's my last port. So now I have to go home to see my family again. This is my daughter, Lotta, 1.5 years old. I miss my family and my home. I want to go home.
It's a big day for Lars and Bene, too. They have to finish the job they started in Shanghai and unload the 4 150-ton heat exchangers.
Okay, stop, number 1 and 2.
Cargo Superintendent Edward Lopkov is back to coordinate the discharge.
Yeah, everything is going quite well.
But Bene and Lars will have to work fast. It's hurricane season in the Caribbean, and the skies are growing darker by the minute.
Dark clouds is coming, strong wind, and for sure heavy rain.
With only 2 of the heat exchangers unloaded, time runs out on Lars and Bene. Jorn has to step in and speed up the job.
Yes. Boom down and swing right.
In minutes, heat exchanger number 3 is on the pier. And soon after that, number 4 is down, safe and sound. But their job is still only half done, and now they can't risk another lift.
So the safety people from our client advised that everybody should leave the deck, go inside the accommodation ladder, and all operations are suspended for the time being until further notice.
With the autoclave stuck in her hold and the weather turning nasty, Beluga Bremen's 6-week delivery schedule is now in danger of being washed away.
We have to finish. I want to go home.
It's been 6 hours since a tropical storm stopped Beluga Bremen from unloading 1,600 tons of mining equipment. Finally, the weather starts to clear. Chief Officer Jorn Gafker and Cargo Superintendent Edward Lopkov have to get the job back on track fast.
We have 3 hours more to daylight to discharge the big units.
Yeah, I know, but I think it will take time to organize the guys back, huh?
Project manager Roberto Frigeni has got an even bigger problem.
The pier is not gonna collapse.
A stress test has revealed that a large section of the pier could crumble under the weight of an 800-ton autoclave. They've clearly marked the danger area with a line of yellow bricks and caution barriers. Now, the very last part of the job could prove to be the most dangerous.
It is more challenging because of the environmental conditions, the pier restrictions, the pier load restrictions.
Beluga Bremen will have to unload the autoclaves beyond the danger zone by extending the reach of her cranes to the far side of the pier. Even with her ballast pontoon deployed, that will push the ship's stability to the max.
Good. A little bit more up. You hook up, yeah.
Jorn gets his team ready for their final big test.
We start preparing now the cables, the wires for lifting.
Everything is ready.
10 tons, hook up.
And Jorn gives the order for the lift to begin. Up on the bridge, Captain Lutz Held and Second Officer Benny Stephenson monitor the ballast system closely.
Lift coming now to 2 degrees to port.
Yeah, we're floating, we're in the air.
It will take 10 minutes just to clear the cargo hold.
Okay, stop number 3.
Boss, and are we above the combing?
Yes, we are over.
Yeah, because crane number 3 is very close to the limit switch, huh?
So you mean we have to turn more to the starboard side?
Hovering above the hold, a sudden gust of wind could cause a disastrous shift in weight and tip the giant ship right over.
Continue, string right, boom down, hook up. Okay, crane number 2, string right.
All right, stop in up, boom. Number 3. Okay, and continue, hook down.
In less than an hour, the first autoclave is hovering over the pier. They'll lower it onto a platform trailer with 528 wheels that will help distribute the weight. And it better work. Roberto can only watch and pray the old pier holds.
And now we have it balanced on the cranes, but it's definitely now the moment to cruise.
All right, John, we are ready here, so we can proceed.
Beluga bridge, start pumping to port side.
The starboard side is coming tight now.
The first autoclave touches down.
How is the other side?
The pier groans under the weight of 800 tons. Everyone holds their breath. The pier doesn't collapse. It's one autoclave down, one more to go. And like clockwork, autoclave number 2 is lifted and delivered.
Good job, buddy.
Good job. Thank you.
Captain Held is happy to see it hauled off the pier.
Our job was to bring these autoclaves to here, to discharge it safely and undamaged.
For Jorn Gafkor, it's not just a job well done.
It's time to go home, and I'm very happy, and my family is very happy too.
And when he returns, after some well-earned time off, he'll return as a captain.
He will be promoted to sail on the next vessel as a captain.
Even Captain Helt is moving on, ready to test drive Beluga Group's next new ship.
I will go to the next new building then.
And for Beluga Bremen, she has passed the test with flying colors and will soon be joined by 7 more super heavy lift ships.
Samana port, we are ready to sail now. Please send the pilot as soon as possible.
But until they're built, Beluga Bremen stands alone as the mightiest ship on the 7 seas.